Hello, everyone. Welcome to Amora and Nana Fun Times. I'm Nana. Amora's not here right now, but she will probably be here later. I'm having a great day. And if I'm having a great day, and you too should be having a great day. Today, I'm going to do story time. And as you can see, my story time is consisted of dating in a wheelchair. Because if you guys follow my videos, I'm a below knee amputee and I'm in a wheelchair. I call her Bluey. So today, that's about I written down my things as usual. As you guys know, I write everything down because I don't want to forget anything because I lost a lot of hearing and a lot of my memory doing the hyperbaric chambers. I have a video up about that if you want to see that. So, okay, family, let's talk about it. Okay. Date number 1 of being in a wheelchair for me. I was at the grocery store getting groceries. And since I couldn't walk, I was in one of those little scooter things. Either at, I was at one of the stores in there. Okay, and I was looking good. So, when I go out, just because you're in a wheelchair, it doesn't have to look bad. I want to look good. So I put my face on, put some nice clothes on, make sure I'm smelling good. The normal routine, just like you do. Hey, just because I'm in a wheelchair doesn't mean that I'm dead, okay? I like to look nice. How my makeup look today? How my little do look? Look okay? Okay. So I was around there buying my own stuff, getting my stuff, and everywhere I looked, this man was following me. Every aisle that I went, he was there following me around the store. And I was just cracking up. I'm like, this man is following me in this store. I was laughing my butt off. And he then approached me and then, introduced himself and told me his name. And he said he was captivated by my beauty. Yes, he used big words like that. I was like, okay. Then he asked my name, so I told him, and he asked me out on a date. And I was he gave me his number, and I went home. And at that time, I had a girlfriend, and I was telling her about it. I don't mean girl, I mean, a friend girl. And I was telling her about him, and come to find out, she knew him. Ain't that funny? That's a small world. So I called him and he wanted to see me, but I didn't know him like that, but she knew him. So they all met in my house. And when he came, I was in my wheelchair. And he came in and he looked and he was expecting me to, be at the door standing. But he saw me in my wheelchair. He didn't say anything, but he looked very surprised. And he had brought some Chinese food with him, some shrimp lo mein, because that's what I like. Yeah. He had bought some shrimp lo mein. He had called me and asked me what I liked. And I told him, I couldn't get to Red Lobster, but, to bring the shrimp lo mein. So he bought the Chinese food and everything. And we all sat at the table and everything. And, he still had that surprise look. And we were talking and chatting with each other, He didn't know I was disabled. So we sat at the table, and me and my friend girl and him, and we talked for a while about a little bit of everything. We talked about everything. We washed our hands and we started eating, and he was just still looking very surprised and taken aback. And we was just talking about different stuff, and he finally got the nerve to ask me why I was in a wheelchair. And I wasn't ashamed. I'm not ashamed of what God has done for me and where he has taken me and what he's taken me through. in my journey that I'm in. So I shared with him everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he looked me up and down. He said, well, even besides all of what you told me, you see, I am still captivated by your beauty. And I said, well, okay, then this may be leading to something, okay? Then he said, he got the nerves to say, Blondie, can I really ask? Okay, my friend girl had to go get something from my car. So as she was getting something from me and him sitting at the table. And he was still talking, and he said, Blondie, before friend girl come back in, can I ask you a question? I said, yes. He said, you sure you won't get offended by the question that I will ask you? I said, sure, you can ask me anything. I'm an open book. He looked me up and down, up and down, you know how men, give you that look. And he pointed to down there, my private area. And he said, even though you're in a chair, does that still work? Are you serious, dude? I mean, of all the questions that you could have asked somebody that's in a wheelchair, you asked about that? Really? You was up there. You down at the bottom. You down at the bottom. I could not really believe my ears. The nerve of some people. For at that time, after that, I knew he wasn't going for me. So we finished our dinner and he left. And I never heard from him again. I saw him in the store. And you know how you see somebody in the store and they act like they don't see you? I didn't act like I didn't see him. I didn't say nothing, but I just went over by him like I was getting some bread or something and was like, I looked him right, Mr. Man, right there in his face, let him know I see you just like you see me. You're not saying nothing to me, but I see you too. Mm-hmm. That was state number one. Here's state number two. I met Mr. Man. Okay, girl again, call us up, setting me up. She went to Menards to get something. So she met Mr. Man there. And she told him they were conversating, and he said he was single. And she had a boyfriend at the time. So she said, I have a single girlfriend that I know you would like and enjoy her. So he gave her his number to give to me. So I was already at her house. And she came home. She was like, "Oh, look, Blondie, I got something for you." And I'm like, "What you got me some chocolate or something?" She was like, "No, I got you a number." I'm like, "Oh, boyfriend girl, here you is. You always trying to set me up with somebody, and they end up not the one. I don't want to go on no dates anymore." She said, "Girl, come on, take the number, call." So I said, "Okay." So I called him, I put him on speakerphone so my friend girl could hear everything that we were saying. So we was talking, conversation. He has such a wonderful sense of humor. And we laughed and talked and laughed and talked. And we talked about hobbies and stuff. And he said that he liked stepping. And I was like, whoa. And I told him, yeah, I like stepping too. That I can just watch people step day in and day out. You know what? Before I lost my legs due to this bone disease, I always wanted to learn how to step. Even a pastor friend of mine said he was going to help me, teach me to learn how to step. But unfortunately, he passed away and I missed. But, I couldn't learn how to step after that. And then, the amputations. And when I told him that, he didn't know I was in a wheelchair first. And then, I said, I want to learn how to step too. He was like, I can teach you. And I said, well, you won't be able to teach me because I'm disabled. I'm in a wheelchair. And he said, huh? He got started for a minute. And he was like, girl, please, even in a wheelchair, I can teach you how to step. And I was like, whoa, what type of man is this? So yeah, he said that he could still teach me how to step, teach me all the movements and everything. Yeah, I mean, wow, that really blew me away. It really blew me away. hmm I was like, wow, friend girl, maybe you got something here. So me and friend girl were doing a special surprise birthday party for my mom. But it wasn't a surprise. Do you know people from out of town called my mom and told her about the party? And they ain't even come. They just didn't want her to be surprised. Ain't that something? Some family will mess up for you every time, but the party still went on. And I invited him, Mr. Man. I didn't think he was going to come at first, but he did. And since I was the only person in a wheelchair, he knew how I was. So he came and introduced himself and kissed me on my hand. Yes, he was such a gentleman. Yeah, so we sat down and talked, and we had a circle of people around my mom, and we were throwing money and stuff at her. And he got up and joined, and we danced. We danced in my wheelchair. Do you understand me? We danced around my mama in my wheelchair. He didn't even see my disability. And that's how we as amputees want you to look at us. Don't look at our disability. Look at our ability. That's what we like. That's what we like. And I said, oh, friend girl, you may have something here. And I tell you, we had a good time at Mama's party. And after that, we talked, and he came over and we met each other and we talked and cried over different things. And I mean, even when I had my first leg amputation, he thought that I was playing with him. And I called him. I was like, hey, he was like, what you doing? I said, I have just had my leg amputated. And he said, Blondie, stop playing with me. You ain't in no hospital. I said, call back to see. And he called back to see. And he was like, oh, Blondie, I'm so sorry that I didn't believe. I'm like, Mr. Man, it's okay. He said, but you just sounded like nothing has happened. I said, because it's the Jesus in me. First leg amputation, it wasn't bad. But that second one was much to be desired. And we were getting to know each other. And he said, Blondie, I need to talk to you about something. And I'm thinking, okay, he finna ask me to let's date. And my answer was going to be yes. And he said, we need to talk. And I said, okay, Mr. Man, let's talk. And he said, Blondie, let me tell you, I enjoy your company. I like you so very much, almost to the point of saying the L word. And this was maybe 6 months out of dating. He said, you are a good woman. Any man in a right mind will be blessed to have a safe, wonderful woman as yourself, even in a wheelchair. I don't look at that. I said, I know, Mr. Man, you never looked at my disability, you ability. He said, you're a good, strong woman. I said, it's because of Jesus. It's the Jesus in me. And he said, I need to ask you and tell you something. I'm thinking, okay, come on. Stop, beating around the bush. And he said, Blondie, I want to date you. And I know you want to date me. He said, but I can't. I said, huh? He said, Blondie, I can't mess with you. You are an anointed woman of God. And I know that I am a player. I know that you want a serious relationship. And I know I just want to have fun. I've been married before. And at this point in time, I don't want a relationship. I just want to, do what I need to do and then be done. And I know you want more than that. And I know you deserve more than that. And I'm a man of God. And I know if I mess with you and intentionally know that I'm not going to do right, that God is going to put a whooping on me. And I don't want God to whoop on me because I'm already going through tests and trials and I don't need nothing added. So let's just be best friends. I was happy, sad, startled, confused at the same time. I have never had a man tell me some truth like that. That's a real man, a real godly man to come and tell you, look, I'm not right. I know you're right, but I'm not right. And I'm not going to mess with you because I don't want God to whoop on me. If more men thought like that, this world would be a better place. It will save some women some tears, some confusion in their lives. And you know what? I respected Mr. Man for telling me the truth. And do you know, to this day, me and him are the best of friends. It's been 10 years plus. And this man has never changed. I have never changed. He has such a wonderful disposition and sense of humor by himself. And we are tight. We call each other all the time. See how each other's life is going. He comes by here. If I need some stuff around the house to do, he can do it because he's a jack of all trades. I mean, he can do a little bit of everything. He tell you he do a little bit of every master of a few, you know, that's saying, but he knows how to do a lot of stuff, a lot of gadgetical stuff and a lot of stuff that I need around the house. That if I need something from the store or times I have gone to the hospital, he's came and by my home to make sure that the alarm is working and nobody's trying to get in and stuff like that. That's a real true friend, a real man of God. Real man of God. That was date number 2. Now, here's date number 3. Okay, I'm call him Cutie. I met Cutie in rehab after my right leg amputations. He had a lot of things going on and he was in a hospital. And of course, I was in for therapy for my amputations. And, you know, he came up to me and asked me my name. And, you know, we became friends while we were that month and a half in rehab. And we would roll each other, you know, roll ourselves to each other's room and watch movies and just talk. You know, and even when we got discharged, we kept in contact with each other. Yeah. We kept in contact with each other. You know, I went home and got settled with Amora, Michelle, and my daughter. And he went back home and got settled with his family and everything, which I was happy about seeing my babies, my daughter and my granddaughter, my one granddaughter at the time. And, you know, Cutie called me. As a matter of fact, I mean, we started talking every day on the phone. He started visiting me backwards and forward. You know, we had a pastor friend and his mom, and we would do a lot of things together, a lot of different things like that. And me and his family got even close. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And Kitty would bring my Amora Michelle Tootsie Rolls, which she loves. She still like that to this day, Tootsie Rolls. And, you know, one day he asked me, he said, will you be my girlfriend, Blondie? And I was like, huh? I was taken aback, you know. And I told him, you know what? I don't play with love when it comes to games of the heart. I don't do that. I don't play games. I put everything all out on the table. When a man even comes to me in that way, I let them know that I don't play, because when I love hard. I want you to be loving me as I'm loving you back. And I'm going to do the same in return. And I don't play with games of the heart. No. And I said, you know what? You need to be careful with the words that you're saying to me. You know, are you really saying you want to be in, you know, relationship? And he was like, yeah, you know, you are a good woman. So I was like, I let everything be known, how things should go, how I don't tolerate nobody calling me out of my name, no disrespect. If you get mad at me, go ahead and leave or get off the phone with me, but don't disrespect me. Don't call me no names, and definitely don't hit me, because I don't play that. Not at all. I do not tolerate that. I've seen so many of my family members and so many friends get beat up, hit, abused, black eyes, broken bones, ran over by cars. I'm not going through that. I will not tolerate that at all. Baby, we will be going at it. And trust me, I'm a woman of God, but I'm a woman of God that will lay you out. I don't play that. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But he said he understood everything that I was saying. I said, do you really understand? Look at me in my eyes. And he said, yeah, he understood that. Mm-hmm. Now, for a while, we were together in my wheelchair. He would come over to my house. I would visit him. We would watch movies. We would laugh. We would eat together. I would cook. I was doing it all as, a girlfriend for him, And one day, he was like, he wanted to do something. And I told him, look, I'm ready for that. I want to be married when that step comes. Yes, I already have a daughter, but I would never say my daughter was a mistake or anything like that, because no, but I wish I wish I had waited and got married before I had my one daughter. I love her. She's my miracle baby. I'm going to put out a video about her being a miracle baby and the reason why I didn't have any more children after her. Now, I wasn't sick at the time. I had my legs and I was good at that time. So I might put a video up about that. Yeah. And I told him I was not ready for that. And he got mad. I thought he was going to be okay. No, he got very, very angry. Very. And he said, Blondie, I can't do this. I'm leaving. And he called his ride, and I thought he was playing. And he left and didn't say one word to me. And do you guys believe that to this day? To this day, this man is still tripping about that. And he said, I just can't be next to you and be boyfriend and girlfriend and can't have you like I want you. Father said, cutie, that comes with time. That I believe I want to be married first. And I want to correct what I, could have corrected when I was walking. I don't want to do that. God is talking to me and I have to do what he says. I want to be obedient. And he didn't want to hear that. He dropped me like a hot potato. You understand me? He dropped me like a hot potato. And even after time and after all of these years, and it's been years, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It's been over 7 years. And do you know, this man does not call me. I'll call and check up on him, and he doesn't pick up the phone, but I leave messages on his answering machine. And do you know, even after 7 years, guys, this man is still telling me the same thing, that he can't be my friend if he can't be my lover. And that's the sad thing. After 7 years, after what you've been through and everything that I have been through and everything that we have been through together, and you tell me you can't get over that part? Really? Come on now. Mm-hmm. Now, I throw parties for my grandchildren 4 times a year, for Easter, for Hallelujah Night, for Valentine's Day, and for Christmas. I have invited him, and he always asks, well, if okay, I'll come. If there's going to be somebody there for you. And I'm like, what difference does it make if somebody's here for me? Well, you got to tell me, because I'm not coming if no other man is there. I can't be there watching you and some other man doing something. Why would we do anything in front of you? That's if I never told him that I had a boyfriend or anything like that. He just assumed, okay? And he was like, well, I can't come and be around you and can't hold you and can't kiss on you during a party. Come on now. Amore Michelle loves you. And you going to do that and it's her party? Mm-mm. Now, I was just inviting him to get out the house because I know he doesn't get out. And I don't get out, and I thought this would be fun, a fun outing for him. And his parents were ready to, one of his parents was ready to come and bring him, but he didn't want to because he wanted to spend the night and mess with me. No, you cannot spend a night. You could come visit and then go home. No, we're not doing that. I'm not that type of woman. You already know that. I'm not doing that. No. Well, I don't want to have anything else to do with you. So you know what? I call one of his parents, every month just to make sure, to see how he's doing because he's going through a lot. So I call him just to make sure he's not in the hospital. And if he's ill in the hospital, I call to make sure he's okay. And I call and I pray for him. That's what real friends do. That's what real friends do. That's what real friends do. But now I understand that he has another so-called girlfriend, but she lives out of town. So he's not seeing her like on a regular anything like that. So I don't know how that's going. Anyway, she told him to all his social medias. And do you know he erased me and blocked me? And the only thing I was saying was, hey, how you doing? Different things of that nature. I wasn't flirting with him or anything, but she told him to block me off of all social media, and he did. I mean, that's terrible. And I mean, if you think about it, that's just like a man who's regularly walking, who's not sick. They want to have their cake and eat it too. Most men want most men want their cake and eat it too. Even in a wheelchair, it doesn't matter whether they're in a wheelchair or whether they're walking. They still have the same brain, and they think with that with their head instead of the head that God has given them. Yeah, but I'm always be his friend, even though he's turned his back. I mean, that's just the type of heart that God gave me. I'm gonna still call every now and then and check with one of his parents to see how he was doing. And here recently, he ran across my mind, and I called, and I heard he was having a difficult time. So I didn't call from my number. I called from a different number, and he answered it. I guess he thought it was a girl or something calling for him. So he picked it up, and when he heard it was me, he wanted to, but he couldn't. I said, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And he caught my voice. Oh. I said, "No, don't worry about it. But I've been calling you. Why haven't you answered the phone?" He had all kind of excuses in the book. I'm not feeling well. I said, "Okay, let me pray for you." So I prayed for him, and I let him know that I didn't appreciate him not answering my phone calls and him blocking me from social media when I was just calling and just going on social media to see how he was doing and everything. And he shouldn't let a girl come between our friendship, and he shouldn't let his attitude and his second head come between our relationship and our friendship. But he has, and I was just telling him that, hey, I'm always be your friend no matter what. When that girl leaves or when you come to your senses, you know my number. Yep, a lot of times you just have to let go and just let God. Oh, yeah. But that was my third dating catastrophe. That was my third catastrophe of dating in a wheelchair. I've been single, and I've been single for many years now. waiting on God. I'm not looking, I'm not searching ready for to bring a person, to bring that man of God to my life. He's going to bring them. Right now, he's preparing me, and he's preparing that man of God that's out there for me. He's preparing us both to meet. And when it's his time, it will happen. One of my favorite scriptures is Psalm 7:14, which says, wait on the Lord, be strong, and take heart, and wait for the Lord. Don't be impatient. God has a plan, and let him work it out. You just be still and wait. You just stay pretty. You just stay handsome, man, and just wait on God. Because when we start looking and searching, what we get? Junk. And God did not make us to accept any junk. Okay, so please view this video, like, subscribe, share with your family, share with your friends, turn on your post notifications. And I just want to say, for there are things that you just have to go and let God, because he alone beats any and every odd. Spoken word for today. So as always, be wonderfully blessed by our King on today. Until next time, be blessed. Have a good rest of your day. I love you, family. Mwah, mwah, mwah.